as far as top 5 languages go, that's probably too broad because you could just name so many. I think you should probably archetype it by what do you want to do. So if you want to get into game development, perhaps C#, C++ could be good choices, or JavaScript and doing canvas games. I could see that also working, but you're limited by doing JavaScript, obviously, because you can't do as much because the language is just not fast enough to do as much. So it's like a good thing to remember. If you're going to be doing backend stuff, if you want a job, if you're looking for a job, maybe C#/Java or JavaScript or Go would be great choices. If you're looking to do embedded, you probably want to do C, C++. Like that would probably be a good choice. And so you kind of have to, I think you have to first determine what do you really want to get out.
If you're just curious about programming, which I talk to a lot of people who are, you can consider jobs, but basically their question is, okay, what's the first language I should learn? And maybe what are the several languages I should explore?
Can I say something that's going to make a lot of people angry?
Yeah, sure.
I think the first language people should learn if they have no idea about anything is JavaScript.
Yeah. Why would that make people angry?
Oh, because people first off, I'm not supposed to say anything nice about JavaScript.
Yeah, usually that's the meme that you hate JavaScript, right?
Yeah, no, JavaScript's a beautiful language and it has a lot of things that are very great for it. And one of them is that you can express anything with very little effort. And so, someone that's new, I think it's really great to be able to draw a box and move a box. Like, that's great. You get to see it visually. I think that's one thing that's really great about JavaScript is that you can do that. Then you can go, okay, I want to learn about the backend. I'm going to make a request now. You can write a quick backend in it. Now you're starting to get familiar with programming a little bit. I can save this to a database. I can bring it down. I can put it on a screen and I can animate it all around. And I can even put it on a canvas and render it in 2D or 3D. So it's like there's so much variety of what you can do with JavaScript. It's a great way to get introduced into programming. But then at some point you have to go, okay, I now need to learn more about this whole thing.
I mean, yeah, just like you said, you can make games, you can do front end, back end for web development.
You can even do embedded. They actually have like there's Wes Boss is building his Roomba or something and programming it with JavaScript and React, which is just the world's worst language to choose for embedded, but you can still do it.
Also, we mentioned sort of in terms of applications, anything that relates to data or machine learning, Python is the leader there.
Yeah.
So that's a great one.
It seems like Python, CUDA stuff, and C++ would be a dynamite in that because a lot of these Python libraries are assumed are you're just smuggling in C++ underneath the hood or C.
Okay, so JavaScript, I would say Python.
Python's a great one too. You can get quite far with it, but you can't write the front end. So what happens if you love the front end, right? What happens if you really just want to design things and you just didn't know that?
Well, it's okay. So for that, JavaScript.
But Python's a good choice because you can't do the ML stuff in JavaScript nearly as easy.
Do we count HTML and CSS as programming languages?
I think there's like some technical definition that it is if you use this certain amalgamation of CSS plus HTML, it actually has it can be a Turing complete language.
Yeah.
But I mean, for practical purposes, no, HTML is not a language. For me, yes, the Turing test is a good one, but for those that are just not wanting to be as academic, if I can't write a function in an if statement, I don't feel like if I can't loop, if, and function, I don't feel like that's a programming language.
Although modern HTML has a lot of features.
It's crazy how much it has, but it's more of a specification than anything else. I specify it to be a pop-up. I specify it to have this kind of accessibility, this kind of look, this kind of, under these conditions, look like this, transform like this, move down here.
I don't know. I kind of like these popular programming languages in this list. I like JavaScript.
You like Bash?
Well, yeah, I like Bash a lot. Yeah. Why?
Okay. Bash is kind of one of those ones where it's like, do you really like it? I like it up until I need an array.
Oh, as a programming language, just no. But I like the command line.
Okay,
that's fun. Yeah, do you like Bash? No, nobody likes Bash. Do you mean I meant
someone is so offended right now?
Means do you use it a lot? Yes, it's good to. I mean, it's good to learn, right? It's good to be comfortable on the command line because it's a bit of a superpower. It's like I think I follow on Twitter FFmpeg.
Great account.
There's certain Twitter accounts that are just legit.
Yeah. And,
I think FFmpeg, they have all these sort of parameters that you can add on the command line that it's like one of those cryptic languages that only very few wizards understand. But once you begin to slowly understand, and I'm only at the very sort of beginning stage of that journey to mastery, the powers you gain at every step is like it grows exponentially. It feels like. I mean, FFmpeg is just this incredible, like, what would you call a library system? There's just the people behind them must be just brilliant masterminds, because they have to work with all these codecs, with all these containers, with all this the mysteries of the media codec universe. They're like masters of, and they understand compression, which is another super fascinating technical set of problems that I don't know. I just FFmpeg just fills me with joy that it exists. But you need kind of bash type comfort, command line comfort to work with it, to really unlock its power. Yeah,
I think FFmpeg is probably one of the most consequential libraries of our day, and the Twitter account is so unhinged. It's the most amazing thing to see, because I think FFmpeg does not get the love it deserves.
Yeah.
Every single application, OBS, probably FFmpeg underneath the hood. All the everything FFmpeg underneath the hood. And yet, they do not get the love they deserve. I just love it. I just think they're the best.
Yeah, I would say JavaScript, HTML, CSS, Python, SQL. I mean, that is SQL. Squeal is a programming language.
Yeah,
it's an incredibly sophisticated programming language. Yeah.
SQL is interesting. I believe you can classify it as a programming language. It does have if you have case statements, and it's pretty crazy what you can do with it.
You can do functions. You can do all that.
Yeah,
stuff. You shouldn't.
For stored procedures. That's how you make your life hell. I will say that all the top languages right there none of them are like strict static typed languages. And so even TypeScript, you can, I don't like this any. And so for people that are learning, doing something that's much more strict would be great. Something like Go, Rust, even C#, C++, like anything that kind of changes your perspective of types, I think is really helpful to kind of go through. They're not getting nearly as much love on this most popular language list, but I think they're very fantastic.
All right. Well, if I put a gun to your head, top five languages, let's list them out. There's a bright-eyed 20-year-old asking you what are the top five languages to learn.
If I were to pick 5 languages that I think people should learn, or at least let's restate it this way. I'm going to say a couple languages, and you should at least explore some of them. I think you should explore a Lucy language, so Python/JavaScript, where there is truly only one type, which is a boxed value, which is a multivariate different types underneath the hood, right?
What'd you call it? A Lucy language?
A loosey-goosey language, right? It's a dynamic language.
Okay.
And so I think it's really good to explore one of those two. So I'd put Python or JavaScript right there. Even Lua. Throw Lua in the bunch. Mm-hmm. I think you should explore a strict language. So I'd do something like Rust, Go. I think those are both really, really great.
C++?
You can do C++. You can do some type erasure in C++. You can do it with Go as well, but it's for the most part, it's a great language to do that in. It can get a little wild. New C++ seems great. Everyone keeps telling me new C++ is great. Mm-hmm. It has every feature you've ever wanted and all the features you don't want.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, there's smart pointers, there's dump pointers, there's all kinds of pointers. There's no memory leaks. That's not an issue.
Face guns, soft beds. There's everything in there.
Unless you like memory leaks, that it has that too. If you want that kind of thing, it's great.